What is up, everybody? How's it going today, guys? I am back with another one. Christina Randall about Bryan Kohberger, the guy that actually is accused and in jail for the 4 murders of the Idaho students, guys. She actually put out a video, and I actually wanted to share it with you guys. Actually show some characteristics to John Wayne Gacy as well. Guys, it's gotten crazy because he's actually been, supposedly, quote-unquote, been talking to or reached out to the BTK killer, guys. It is crazy, but first, love yourself, like yourself, be nothing but yourself. Like and subscribe to the channel, it's highly appreciated. Without further ado, guys, let's jump right into the video.
Now, a lot of us know Bryan Kohberger has been arrested as a suspect in the slayings of the 4 Idaho students. He is currently, as of me filming this for you guys, in Pennsylvania, but has just waived his extradition to be transferred back to Idaho, where he will see a judge and go through a trial there. His public defender has come out and said that he is shocked by the arrest.
He is very intelligent. In my hour conversation with him, that comes off. I can tell that. And he understands where we are right now. He's shocked a little bit. Obviously, he's calm right now. We don't really know much about the case.
And that he is eager to prove himself to be innocent. Now, a lot of people, that's taken people by surprise, like, oh my gosh, does this mean he's innocent? Another thing that was alleged that Bryan said was to an investigator, he allegedly looked them in the eyes and said, has anybody else been arrested? And the investigator allegedly said no, and then Bryan gave him a long blank stare, which when I heard that didn't faze me at all. John Wayne Gacy asked pretty much the same exact question to investigators. He asked, did you arrest the others? And when he asked this question, he knew full and good and well that he committed his crimes all alone, which was his tactic to throw the investigators off. Because remember, Bryan Kohberger and anybody else, they do not have to prove that somebody else did it. They do not have to prove that they are innocent. They only have to cast reasonable doubt. That's it. Reasonable doubt.
See, another thing about it is, guys, there's different news stations saying that actually he was arrested for the 4 murders. And there's other news stations out there saying that he has not been fully actually held accountable for the 4 murders of the Idaho students. We know today he goes back to Idaho, and we're going to know a little bit more about that, guys. I'm looking forward to that because then it's going to give us more information on what all happened, guys. What I don't understand is one person went in and brutally stabbed 4 people. I find that very hard to believe, guys, and it very may well be true. So I'm just speculating that I don't believe there was actually just one person in this murder. I just don't. It's hard to believe. But then again, I mean, he did study all this stuff. He did talk to, reached out, supposedly, quote unquote, the BTK killer. His daughter, BTK killer daughter, actually came forward and gave a whole thing about that, guys, and it was crazy because she said she let her emotions out on that video, guys. If you guys have not seen that, go check that out. BTK killer's daughter actually spoke out about Bryan Kohberger actually supposedly reaching out to her father. It is crazy and it is sad, but anyways, guys, let's jump right back to the video.
That's all he needs. Now, he could be innocent. We still don't know all the details, but I am leaning more towards the fact that hopefully the Idaho police, along with the FBI that's been involved and all these other organizations at the Idaho Police Department called in, they know what they're doing. I mean, I am shocked that the white car was actually involved. Do y'all remember the video that I did where I said, I don't think the white car was involved. I think that was just somebody passing by, Well, I'll be darned. They towed a white Elantra away from Bryan's parents' house where he was living at in Pennsylvania. So allegedly, Bryan has a house in Pennsylvania where he was staying with his parents, but he also had an apartment in Washington, which was only 10 or 15 minutes away from the 4 Idaho students' home. So he had a place in both states. Now, get this. Allegedly, and by the way, this whole entire video is alleged. Go do your own research, form your own opinion. Just don't show hate to anybody anywhere. Allegedly, Bryan had his father drive him in that white Elantra back from Washington all the way back to Pennsylvania. So if he thinks he's being smart, he was creating an alibi by being with his father. I wonder if his father saw all this and called in and said, yeah, we have a white Elantra, because remember, the cops were asking if you know anybody with a white Elantra, if you have a white Elantra, if you were in this area, and they got tips of over 22,000 tips on white Elantras. I wonder if his father called in and said, yeah, me and my son drove one, it was nothing. I was with him the whole night or whatever.
Can you imagine driving with your father, knowing what you did? Guys, it's just unheard of for the father to be there, drive back, and he done what he did. He knew what he did, and there's no one else involved. And he's got an alibi on top of that. So he played that very smart, guys. But what we all want to know is what kind of ties he had into the girls. We know that he had all kinds of ties in on him anyways, as far as that goes, because of all the social media stuff. He had like 12 different accounts with the same face on it, guys. And the computer that they actually recovered, they got from his home in Pennsylvania, whatever's on that, the FBI will find out, and that's where we'll get most of our stuff from, guys. And I hope to hell they actually have DNA match to put him away forever, guys. Anyways, let's jump right back to the video.
Whatever, not knowing anything. Because remember, the hours that the situation happened with the Idaho students was in the wee hours of the morning when most people are sleeping, unless you're a college student out partying for the holidays, right? But most people are sleeping, so he could have very well snuck out of his place for those few hours and then been back in the bed when the other people in the home woke up, and boom, there's his alibi. He was home all night long. So I don't know. It just seems like he was trying to, if he is the one that did this, he was really trying to outsmart the cops. He really did. And I'm going to tell y'all right off the bat, I do not believe that anybody else was involved. I've never believed that there was more than one person that did this. I don't believe that Bryan, according to people that he went to school with and people that knew him and people that he was even friends with, he had a hard time making friends and keeping friends. He was allegedly very socially awkward. There was even somebody from a local bar that came forward and told investigators that they scan your ID when you walk into the bar. Now, when they have your ID, they keep it in their system. And then if you do anything out of ordinary or the servers and the people that work there, they write notes in the system next to your ID. So when you come back next time, the people that are in there, the bartender, they can see how you were before, and they can kind of keep an eye on you, or maybe you're a really nice person, a great tipper, whatever their notes say. Well, this bar that he was going to there said that he actually, when he would come in, he'd be normal, he'd be fine, kind of staying to himself. But after he would have a couple drinks, that's when he would get more comfortable and loose, and he'd get mouthy. And it was even said that he called one female there the B word because she turned him down. And so when he came back in the next time, the manager saw it in the notes. He went up to him, because by this time the ladies know, okay, like he's going to have a couple drinks, he's going to be weird, right? The manager went up to him and said, hey, Bryan, we appreciate you being here. We appreciate you being a customer here, and we want you to be here. You just got to be careful. When you have some drinks, don't be disrespectful. And Bryan acted like what are you talking about? I have no idea what you're talking about, which reminds me of him telling his public defender, I'm shocked. I have no idea why they would arrest me for this.
He's shocked a little bit. Obviously, he's calm right now. He's shocked a little bit. Obviously, he's calm right now.
That could be his MO with, oh my gosh, me? No, me. I didn't do that at all. Bryan even had one of his friends from years ago started making videos on TikTok after he was arrested and said that he had an H problem when he was in high school, which is crazy to think about kids as young as high school being strung out on. Nevertheless, she said that he had a problem with it, and that one time he asked her to take him to run errands or go get something, and she later found out that he was actually taking her to go pick up substances. And when she found out, she was infuriated. She sent him a text, and he immediately said that he was, going into treatment and he was going to get help. And this is when she believed he got clean, and then he started going to school for his criminology degree. Now we're going to get into a little bit of the rumors, okay? And we will find out later. Kaylee's father allegedly did come out and say that there is a connection between Kaylee and Bryan, but he was not ready to say what that connection.
So my question to this whole thing is just because she said about the drugs and stuff, does the drugs make him a murderer? It very well could. DTs are something else, guys. And when you're going through DTs, you'll do anything to basically get your mind off of them DTs. So was he actually on drugs then too? If that's the case, shouldn't a college have known about that? Shouldn't a college do more piss tests on kids or college students or even the teachers to find out what they're doing on their outside life to protect our college students and our kids? I believe 100% that should be done. Anyways, that's my opinion. Let's get back to the video.
Connection is just yet. Now check this out. So y'all all remember the BTK killer, right? We did a video on him over here. We talked about him. Bryan allegedly was studying the BTK and his daughter, and I don't know if you guys remember when I did the video, I was talking about his daughter because his daughter thought she had the perfect dad growing up. She was shocked to find out that her father was the one terrorizing the community and doing this stuff that he got away with for a long time. Remember, he was putting on makeup and dressing up in women's clothing and then tying himself up. It escalated. Well, his daughter has come out since Bryan has been arrested.
Do you think he may have had any sort of communication with your father?
Kohberger could definitely have had communication with my father. Well, obviously we know he studied my father in criminology classes. He probably studied him heavier since he had Ramsland as a professor. But we need to find out if there's a deeper connection. It concerns me.
But they could have even been writing each other. Who knows? I mean, that may come out. That would be even more creepy. A lot of people are comparing Bryan to American Psycho. And I want to, again, remind you guys, he is innocent until proven guilty. It would be devastating if everybody was focusing on Bryan and the person that did this was still out there somewhere. It would be nuts. But again, I have to believe that the FBI, the cops, and all of them, they got some information. And, you know, another thing is they say that the best way to get a criminal to make a mistake is to let them feel like they're getting away with it. And so you have the investigators and the chief and
that's exactly what they did, guys. We went, basically, this was actually talked about being a cold case after a year, guys. So we went, 49 days with absolutely nothing, guys. And the whole time, these cops kept this to themselves. The FBI, the special agents, and whoever else was involved at that time, kept it to themselves. And then they actually got somebody, and it was Bryan Kohberger. And they went and raided his home, and he's still in jail, guys. I don't see us getting the wrong guy at this point. They know who it was. They probably already have DNA. It's probably already matched. And these are all just speculations, guys, on this side. So that's what I think. I think they have 100% the right guy. I think they have actually all they have to do to bring him back to Idaho and fully charge him with everything, which is going to happen today, guys. But anyways, let's jump right back to the video.
the prosecutor and all of them coming out saying they don't have a suspect, they don't have a suspect. And it could be because they were watching him the whole time, waiting for him to do just enough things so they could get a good arrest, because he has been arrested for all 4 counts of. They didn't get him, you know, for lying to the police. I don't know if you guys remember, but Casey Anthony, when she was first arrested, she was arrested for lying so they could keep her in jail. And so they got him for the actual murders. They got the extradition, all of that. And so they have to have enough information for that. Now, I want to know what it is. They also say that they were surveilling his house, or his mother's house where he lived at, for 4 days before they actually went in for the arrest. Like, what did they see? Did they see him cleaning out that white Elantra? I want to know. I need to know. And did he call in and report that he had a white Elantra? Because other classmates that he was going to school with said that after the Idaho slayings, he became more animated in class. Like, he wanted to talk more. He was more social, you know, like more confident, more excited. But anytime they brought up the Idaho slayings, he got quiet and never would say a word. That is so weird. And the students thought it was weird because they were all obsessed with the case because that's what they were going to school for. And they were obsessed with, discussing who it could be, but he wouldn't say a word. Now, I have friends that have sent me, and even some of you guys that have sent me screenshots from Facebook groups where people believe that he was actually in the Facebook groups under anonymous names talking about the case, trying to figure out what people thought, even getting aggravated when people thought it was people.
There's even rumors of him actually calling on into YouTubers' lives, guys. Live streams, panels, everything like that, guys. Do you remember whenever Howard Stern had the killer actually call into his show, and Howard Stern went on about an hour, didn't even know he was actually a killer, but he was actually a serial killer? That was actually on the Howard Stern show. That's 100% real, guys. And then we have this Bryan Kohberger coming back to Idaho, waiving all rights, guys, and to bring him back sooner because it makes him look like he is innocent. Is that what Bryan Kohberger is actually thinking? Just because he did that and he comes back sooner, he's going to get away sooner? He did this murder because he thought that he was smart enough to get away by reaching out to ex-murderers, ex-cons, putting stuff on the internet for him to actually learn off of actually murderers and questionnaires, and he would read it, and he put it towards his college purpose. Like it was actually part of his schooling, guys. Crazy, guys. Anyways, let's jump right back to the video.
People that had already been cleared, and that would be so strange. And it would be weird too if, man, like he was sitting around watching YouTube videos about it. Like that is so creepy to think about. There was even a post that was made, and this is a bit disturbing. It's very disturbing, actually. There was a post that was made on an anonymous thread on Monday, December 12th, where it said, "I hung their intestines from the ceiling fan and I shoved my knife up Kaylee's beep. I'm hiding in the woods in Crap Hole, Pennsylvania. Good luck catching me." Now, you got to admit, that's weird because he was found in Pennsylvania, okay? However, and they did say that Kaylee's wounds were extensively worse than the others. It's going to be strange to find out what all happened to Kaylee. But what if it's not him? What if it's not? But let me tell y'all something. Ted Bundy proclaimed his innocence. He defended himself in court. He smiled. He made a spectacle of it. He enjoyed it. He enjoyed every bit, calling the witnesses and making the witnesses, people that had survived him, recant what he did to them, and he enjoyed it.
I had a year to study criminal law in action.
He said he was innocent, and he had women writing him, coming up there. It was so gross. But it did cast some bit of doubt in some people's minds. He never admitted that he was guilty until after he was sentenced to death row. And then later on, he admitted it and then would come out and do interviews and tell his story. A lot of people go all the way that they're innocent and they don't admit it until after they're sentenced and they're bored and people forgot about them. And then they want some attention again. And so they come out and admit it so they can get cameras back on them. So what do you guys think? I think the police got some evidence. The FBI, I do not think that they would want to be embarrassed by this, but we will see. There
you guys go, guys. Christina Randall, go check out her channel, guys. Look, I believe we have the right guy. There's too much evidence. There's too much speculations of him talking to people, ex-murderers, putting stuff on his internet, putting it out there on his college, making it look like he has a class about reaching out to ex-cons, about murders and stuff. He put all this together and thought he can get away with murder is what happened, guys. And he went and tried it. And actually what they said is it actually made him feel better, guys. Like she said, it made him more social. So that tells me he fulfilled something that he wanted to carry out with. And would he have carried on again with another murder if he wasn't caught with that one, guys? That's the question for the comments. Guys, I'm going to get out of here, but first, love yourself, like yourself, be nothing but yourself. Like, subscribe, channel, it's highly appreciated. Without further ado, guys, your boy Deuces, I'm out. Thank you, guys.